Welcome to another edition of Runaway Routes.
Woohoo!
Haven't had feedback yet on the name, so we started off this one in KOA Joplin, Missouri, and as we were saying, it was great that right across the street was an RV kind of travel center.
Right.
We went over there, said what was going on. I actually called first, and they said, come on over, no problem. We drove over. I explained what was going on. They sent a tech out. He had a kind of like a socket wrench tool,
Right.
and he tightened down the nut on the windshield wiper, and he showed me how I could do it with one of the wrenches I had on board.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, it's just the way it is. It's, not as much thread, and just be careful
happen.
and stuff like that. I said, how much? And they said, no, you're fine. Don't even worry about it. I gave the guy a little something because I'm from New York, and just, a little something for the effort. It was great that it was right there because we weren't sure what was going to happen. And it only rained a little bit again.
Whoa. The huge rainstorm the morning when we first got up at that KOA.
Yes, there was a huge rainstorm when we got up, but not while driving. You're right.
And we were soaked. Thank goodness I hadn't taken a shower yet. That was pretty much my shower because I was soaked from that. It's probably one of the biggest downpours we've had in this RV, and it was like the second night of having the RV.
I forgot about that. And I kind of had that little flooding right out,
Yes.
right off the step.
Oh yeah, it was fun.
So
Fun for Jimmy.
Yeah, poor little guy.
But then we got going.
And then we got going, yeah, and we were just pretty much...
It cleared up.
The drive was just cutting across Missouri that day. That was our biggest challenge for that day. That's all we were doing.
Right.
I had picked a spot in East St. Louis, Illinois, which is just across from St. Louis, Missouri.
Right.
And it was an uneventful drive. Obviously, we were stopping at, rest areas for lunch or anything like that. We weren't pulling off and going to truck stops or anything. So we drove, no issues, except for when we got to, you gotta get to like an interchange right at St. Louis.
Right.
And it was a little confusing, and I'm asking Ann, and she's like, I've never been here, I don't know. So we figured it out. Well, we got going on the wrong direction from what the navigation was telling us, but we saved ourselves a whole little turn.
Yes.
I actually got to where I wanted
quicker.
Inadvertently.
Right.
Yeah, so, but the flip side to that was I had to cross this old bridge.
Right.
Which, it was fine. Trucks, I'm sure, go across it all the time, but again, it was very early in driving, so just keep throwing curveballs at me and letting me, foul them off.
Yep.
But we crossed the bridge, no problem, got into it. It was at the Casino Queen RV Park.
Yep.
Which was
own separate parking area.
Yeah, so it's separate from the Casino Queen.
Yep.
Which has its own area, but just past it is an RV park.
Right.
One of the added benefits was it had a beautiful view of the arch.
Right.
So from our coach, we can see the arch.
Right.
We got
really
there.
Nice, especially at sunset.
Yeah, it was beautiful at sunset. We got there, and you're supposed to check in to get your spot assigned. So we pulled over, and I went in, and there was a sign, just out for 10 minutes, be right back. Well, of course, I don't know if it's like they just put the sign up, but I'm like, okay, well, it's only 10 minutes, no problem. 20 minutes goes by. I said, well, even if they left as soon as we got there, it's been 10 minutes.
I think it was they were cleaning the bathroom. That was the best part.
Yeah, but then we checked for the bathroom.
Yeah, and there was no one in there.
Yeah, so I went into it said cleaning the bathroom. So I went in the men's room, there was nobody. Then I sent you into the women's room, there was nobody. So I don't know what bathroom they were cleaning, but it doesn't matter. Finally, there was a security guy who came to fix one of the exit gates arms had broken.
Right.
So he was fixing that. So I asked him, and he got a hold of somebody, and they told us our assigned spot.
Yes.
Well, we got to the spot, got in, no problem. Again, we hadn't learned how to unhook the Jeep.
Right.
So in the morning, it was very interesting because the turn out was so tight that we almost took out a light post.
Yeah, if we
were going fast,
at the end spot, if we would have just been
two spots,
one next to us, because it wasn't a very crowded park at the time. But yeah, so Drew made this very tight turn. And I mean, no joke, I'm trying to guide him out, and it's one of those concrete lampposts.
Yeah, and we just missed it.
No joke, like he literally just grazed it. So we have another nice little war mark from another injury battle from our from our
But we got
RV.
out no problem. And then as we were headed out, and where was our next stop after that?
It was in North Utica, correct?
Right, the KOA. So the
Right.
KOA LaSalle in North Utica, Illinois. I don't know. It's that's what it's called.
Right.
So we were kind of shooting straight up Illinois at that
Yep.
point, getting up toward the 80. But leaving the Casino Queen. Now I'm using RV Trip Wizard on a navigation system.
Right. He's put in the dimensions.
Overdrive. Yeah.
Height.
Weight,
Weight's the most
length,
important.
everything.
Right.
So we start going, and as we come around the corner, there is like a highway overpass that we have to go under. And this is the first time we had to go under anything. Now,
Right.
the clearance was probably good 2-3 feet above our heads.
Right.
Sure doesn't feel like it your first time
No.
right up there on top of the world in the coach.
Especially when they make it seem like it's a low bridge. So, and for some trucks, I'm sure it is. But for
Yeah.
us, it was a little grueling.
Yeah, it was plenty. But we both drove kind of looking up as we're like, okay, let's hope we still have AC units
I
at
don't
the
hear
end.
anything.
But then the highway was right there. So, I mean, that's why they took us that way, and they knew how tall we were. So
Yep.
the computer knew it was okay, or like its voice name is Samantha, so we call it Samantha.
Right.
And Samantha sometimes drives me crazy because she takes us places we don't think are right, but
Right.
we always get there. So then we drove straight up Illinois to the KOA LaSalle.
Yes.
And that was kind of the next 2 days, and that's where we'll end this one because we've got some fun stories for the next
On the
episode.
next episode.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.